What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick and Plays for Monday, September 30th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Use that promo code because there are so many good bonuses that Underdog offers every single week. If you're not using these Underdog bonuses, what are you even doing? If you're a prop player, if you're a fantasy player, it makes too much sense to deposit with that deposit match bonus of Daily Dog. Get 50% added to your account after your first deposit up to $1,000. It's definitely worth it. All right. We have two Monday Night Football games here today, and I'm looking forward to them immensely. It's going to be really fun. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this Miami Titans game. I think that people are going to assume that's going to be an under because there's bad QB play and, Snoop Huntley is starting for the Dolphins. But it's really just, I think that the turnovers can actually allow for points to be scored in this one. I think Levis is going to turn the ball over like he always does. And again, this is a high-profile Monday night game for a team like the Titans who's kind of terrible. So I think that they're going to be trying really hard to get some points on the board here and create some highlights in this game. That said, I think the point total goes over. I don't know which side wins this game, but I'm definitely thinking there will be points. On that note, my Monday Night Football slip is Devin Achane, higher than half of a rushing receiving touchdown. Achane is just a workhorse for this team right now. I know Mostert is questionable. Mostert has been in and out of the lineup. We've seen this before. Sometimes when Mostert's in the lineup, it actually allows Achane even more opportunity to break away because Mostert can kind of wear down that defense and carry some of that load. So then when Achane does get in there, it's like a bomb goes off. He's exploding out of the backfield into the flat or right up between the tackles anywhere. And, the guys are already tired from chasing Mostert that whole time. So it's not, I don't consider it a detriment to his ability to score a touchdown with Mostert in the lineup. And again, we still get that vulture protection with Devin Achane. If you're not aware of Devin Achane or not aware of vulture protection on Underdog, it's amazing. So if you have a running back that's a designated running back on Underdog and they get a carry on a drive and then someone else runs the ball into the end zone from inside the 10-yard line on that same drive, you get your slip back if that's the only leg that loses. Let me tell you, that saved my bacon on Thursday or Sunday Night Football. I had a slip with Khalil Shakir yards, a slip with Derrick Henry to score a touchdown, and then it was Lamar Jackson to score a touchdown, and then and then also James Cook was the final leg. James Cook did not get his touchdown. He got snaked. He got vultured by Ty Chandler. So that slip, instead of punishing me, instead of like that slip losing and me missing out on a bunch of money, which I did, I got that money back and I got a discount added to my account. So it was definitely worth it. Let's go on to the next play here. This one is not a running back. This is Calvin Ridley, higher than half of a rushing receiving yard, or higher than half of a rushing receiving touchdown in this game. Calvin Ridley is a playmaker who's getting all sorts of design touches in this offense for the Titans. Yes, there's running backs that could steal the show in the red zone with Tajay Spears. And then wide receivers also, DeAndre Hopkins. Nuke Hopkins is one of the best to ever do it, so he's obviously a threat to steal targets in the red zone. But I'm not too worried about it because Calvin Ridley, like I said, the way that they've been using him, they use him on end arounds, they use him on deep balls, they use him in short and intermediate passes, they use him on screens. There's just a lot of ways that they're trying to use Calvin Ridley's explosiveness on this team. So again, I like him in this scoring environment that I think that there's going to be 45 points in this game. As opposed to the 37 that is currently listed on the total. So with that being said, give me Calvin Ridley. It's a 2x multiplier. It really juices up this slip. I'm all for it because, again, I think that the way that the team is using him right now, he is definitely going to get a touchdown in this game. Next, we're going to go to David Montgomery of the Lions in the later Monday Night Football game in the Lions versus the Seahawks. I also like DK Metcalf to score in this game, but I got to keep it simple. Got to go with mandatory Montgomery. David Montgomery scores a ton of touchdowns. He's the goal line back. He just finds a way to get the ball across the line from inside the red zone. I think that they're going to get in the red zone on Monday night for the Lions here. I actually think the Lions have a good shot to blow out the Seahawks. I haven't betted or anything, but I just feel like this game is trending in that direction, so I would lay it with the Lions, and I probably will bet it by the time this game gets off, just neither here nor there. So this slip is a lot of juice. It's 14.53x multiplier. If you put $10 on this, you win 145 and 30 cents. I have more than that on it. So let's make some real serious money right here. And, let's get that, if we need to, let's get that vulture protection with Devin Achane. So again, the Monday Night Football slip is Devin Achane higher than half a rushing receiving touchdown, Calvin Ridley higher than half of a rushing receiving touchdown, David Montgomery higher than half of a rushing receiving touchdown. 3 guys to score touchdowns: Devin Achane, Calvin Ridley, David Montgomery across these 2 Monday Night Football games. And also, let's celebrate for the NFL slip we hit on Sunday, 11.16x. We put that one out on Friday's show when we gave out 6 slips. A lot of good picks on that show that hit. But it was nice to get that Sunday NFL momentum going. We had Derrick Henry score a touchdown. We had Baker Mayfield higher than 1.5 touchdowns. We had Justin Fields higher than 37.5 rushing yards. And then we also had one more touchdown in that one. I can't remember off the top of my head. The last slip, or the last one on Sunday, was Marvin Harrison Jr. to score a touchdown against the Commanders, which he did on the first drive, and then things slowed down immensely. But that was a nice little juicer, 11.16x. And again, this Monday night slip, we just got 3 picks here, 3 guys to score touchdowns, 14.53x. All right, let's get to our final MLB vibe slip of the year. Maybe I'll do one during the playoffs, but probably not. The MLB season is crazy. It should be over, but we got a doubleheader between the Braves and Mets, thanks to Hurricane Helene, however they say it, postponing this game last week. And there's a lot on the line. If one of these teams sweeps this 2-game set on Monday, which is today, then the D-backs are in the playoffs. If they split, the D-backs are out of the playoffs. So there is a lot of, it's going to be kind of a tense spot. It's basically the playoffs starting early. So with that being said, I expect it to be played very, very close. Not a lot of runs on the board, not a lot of base runners. So I generally play baseball overs because it's just way more fun to do it. And there's, good opportunities to get big, juicy multipliers if you're putting your slip in the night before on the overs, or the highers, I should say, not the overs. But that being said, this being a playoff environment, I'm just going to start right away getting into that. Spencer Schwellenbach, the pitcher for the Braves, has been pretty dominant lately, and he's been even more dominant lately versus the Mets. In 2 starts this year, he's gone 7 innings allowed just 5 hits across 14 innings in 2 starts against the Mets. I'm taking him to have lower than 5 hits allowed in this high-profile game right here. Also, Tyler Megill, the other pitcher, the pitcher for the Mets, lower than 5.5 hits allowed versus this Braves team. Megill's actually been pretty good as far as not letting batters get on base with hits. And again, this Braves lineup is the walking wounded. I mean, there's so many guys that are hurt. This is not the Braves lineup that we were promised early in the year. Obviously, no Acuna, no Austin Riley. And, the guys in the back of the lineup are kind of like role players that are all being thrust into more serious roles here. So we got Ramon, Laureano, lower than 1.5 total bases for the Braves as well. This is just a 3.36x, a slight vibe play on this first game of the doubleheader. I got to tell you, this is the first game of the doubleheader. I don't have the picks available for the second game of the doubleheader yet. So we're going Schwellenbach, lower than 5.0 hits allowed, Megill, lower than 0.9x hits allowed, and Ramon, Laureano, lower than 1.5 total bases. Again, this is, kind of a good little fun sweat for a big day of MLB baseball that has a ton on the line for 3 different teams. And then last thing, I hope you guys all had a good time betting football this weekend. My proudest bet I hit over the weekend was Colorado Moneyline. I gave that out on a different show called Just Win Sports that I do with my buddy Amal Shah 5 days a week. I gave that out on Tuesday. We were talking about the lines, and I said, this one's wrong. Colorado should not be an underdog in this game. They should be favored. A lot of quote-unquote sharp people said that was completely wrong and that Colorado was going to get, they were going to run all over Colorado. I'm just going to say this because I've said it a million times. Before week 5 of college football, in 4 games, Colorado had allowed a total of 19 points in 4 second halves. After week 5, they've allowed 26 points in 5 second halves. That is elite defense. Colorado is not soft in the defensive trenches or in the defense in general like they once were. They force turnovers. They hold at the point of attack. So just food for thought. Colorado's not as bad as they used to be. And I'm a Husker fan. I don't even like Colorado. I'm just saying that perception can be a little bit out of control with some of these teams that get a lot of headlines. All right, that is it for me today. Let's make some money.